Hey guys, quick warning for this video as it contains some gun violence, family trauma, and images of blood. Now then, where we left off was the team having found the lost library in Egypt, run by a shadow creature by the name of Nedu. In this library they find a lead that involves a goddess who knows about Atlantis. It's a freaking long route to her, but it's a route nonetheless. They not only find that, but Quinn and Matteo also experience a connection from their tutorial. Quinn learning that her flower is a flower of origin, a special kind of flower that is only grown for either gods or beings of unmeasurable power. And this flower that is on her head is that for the creature that stole her family, a creature that she now knows is an Oasis deity, a lost god. While Matteo experiences his sight shifting and viewing from the eyes of the mask that attacked him, learning that it is alive and well, walking around looking like him still. It's because of this that the team quickly take their leave and travel out to a location where they can gain service. Since they are unable to go back to base just yet, as the concern of the 7 sins is still there, they call in and report to Rena. Well, most of the team report to Rena. Matteo reports what he's experienced to Svante, as Svante has become the more trusted boss to him. Svante comforts and reassures Matteo, telling him how he will send someone out immediately to go and search for this dangerous doppelganger. Matteo is hesitant about this decision as he wants to search for them himself, but Svante insists on keeping distance for now. He will send a trustworthy member. He'll send Fiona out to find them and keep an eye on them. After a little bit, Matteo reluctantly agrees and follows Svante's directions in staying away. As this is happening, the others are reporting to Rena and getting orders from her. They tell her of the lead regarding Atlantis and the dragon goddess. Quinn also informs her of what she learned regarding her personal situation. Rena commends them on a job well done and informs them that they will immediately follow up on this information with the goddess, as well as Quinn's with the flower and the deity. But they all still have to remain a distance away for the time being. So they travel around and deal with missions and events. These filler sessions being 1. Lorable showing up and bringing them to the world of Barry Botter, Karth being in Bavenblaw, Quinn being in Biffenbor, and Adelaide and Matteo being in Bufflebuff. 2. They fought a giant bat creature that was kidnapping children at night. 3. They deal with a living lake. 4. They're finally able to travel back to Ireland at least, and they spend a mission with Kim, where they find weird chicken fetuses attaching to people and making them act out, thanks to a weird witch. 5. While investigating where missing orphans were ending up, they find that it was actually one of the caretakers themselves, and he was experimenting and mutating foster kids. And then 6 was a session that was also intended to be a filler. However, it ended up spiraling out of control and becoming actually quite an impactful character moment for the players. And all because I wanted to have fun and make them deal with the Babadook. Yes, I threw the Babadook in! For those that don't know, the Babadook is a movie directed and written by Jennifer Kent. In the original iteration, the Babadook is a curse of a monster that haunts a struggling single mother, preying on her grief in her life and introducing incredible paranoia within her. Now, the Babadook served a metaphorical purpose in the movie and in the original storybook, but for my game, I took its concept and changed its origin and intent. But I kept much of its part the same, as you'll see, because this all started the same way for the group as it did in the movie. With a book. A book showing up at their base. As Adelaide was taken by Kadir to go to a mission for the Plateau Demons, the rest of the group find Dakota with a book, struggling to get rid of it. But she can't. She's tried to burn it, and even threw it into a well, but it keeps coming back. So she tells the group to hold on to it as she tries to research this and find a way to get rid of it for good. The group curiously looks at the book, and that's when they learn that it's about a creature called The Babadook. So they open it and they read. If it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. If you really are a clever one, and you know what it is to see, then you can make friends with a special one, a friend of you and me. His name is Mr. Babadook, and this is his book. A rumbling sound and then 3 sharp knocks. Babadook, dook, dook. That's when you'll know that he's around. You'll see him if you look. Babadook, dook, dook. This is what he wears on top. He's funny, don't you think? See him in your room at night, and you won't sleep a wink. I'll soon take off my funny disguise. Take heed of what you've read. And once you see what's underneath, you're going to wish you were dead. There is more to the book, but they decided to stop reading. They didn't want to finish. But it was too late. They already looked in. And things already started to change. Everywhere they went in the base, they felt they were being watched. Catching a dark figure in a reflection, a cold breath over their neck. But when they looked, there was nothing. But they knew. They knew it was the Babadook. Not wanting to face it, they holed up into Karth's room and called Dakota, telling her what's been happening. She was baffled to why they would read that thing, but she understood and told them to stay there. She was on her way to them. Then, there was a knock. 3 of them. Babadook, dook, dook. Expecting it to be Dakota, they opened the door and found nothing but darkness. All the lights went out in the base, and it was suddenly very quiet and very cold. That's when they realized what they did. They let the Babadook in. So they rush out of the room to try and find Dakota, but they can't. The base is empty, the lights not working anywhere. That feeling of being watched now stronger than ever. They can see him out of the corner of their eyes, standing in the back of the rooms, looming out of a doorway. They finally decide to confront it when they're in what would be considered the living room of the base, seeing him lurking in the shadows across the room. Quinn is the one to speak up and ask what it wants. It says nothing. So Quinn tries to question it more, and that's when it finally moves, growing closer to the group. And as it grows closer to the group, so do the images that I made of it for the Roll20 that we used at the time. It grows so close that it actually comes out of the screen itself, looking at my players. Not the characters, but my players. And Cammy is heard actually jumping and screaming at the change of the picture. Here's a cut of it.
I dragged everybody into this.
Let me put it this way.
Oh god!
The meta.
Oh my god, that scared the shit out of me.
But besides me messing with my players, we continue back with the characters. As the Babadook is now in front of them, and all was shadows around them. They were each asked a question, quietly, privately, within their own minds. Karth being the first, as it asked him if he wanted the lives of the lost back, the ones he lost in his past, before he ever joined this organization. The exchange was never brought up, as Karth quickly says, "No thank you, I don't want that, I don't want what you're selling, thanks, nope, I'm good." So it went to Quinn, looming over her and speaking into her mind.
Do you want your family back? I can get them back for you.
How? Quinn's eyes widened at this offer, for a moment wondering if it were true. But then her heart sank as it worded its exchange.
Give me your friends, and I will bring them back.
Quinn's eyes widened as a blindingly white portal opened up behind the Babadook, showing where her friends would be brought to if she agreed. As the others looked to the portal in concern, Quinn looked sternly to the Babadook and said, "No. I will find my family, and I will find them without the loss of others." A frustrated, hollow breath of air came from the being before it dashed and coiled around Matteo. The offer now quietly spoken to him.
I can reunite you with your mother. I can bring you back to a life with her.
Matteo gave a sharp look to it before it added,
Safely. She will be safe. And with you.
its face pushing closer as it pressured Matteo with its steel.
All you must do is give me one of them.
It says as one clawed finger snaps up. Just one.
Just one.
Matteo stayed quiet as it unwrapped from him, retracting to stand back in place by the portal, waiting. Matteo then made a roll, and he failed. Matteo grabbed the person closest to him, Quinn. Yep, okay, we're doing this. Quinn yelled out Matteo's name in shock as she began to struggle against him, to which he only quietly said he's sorry as he began to carry Quinn towards the portal. From there, it went into initiative, as Karth and Quinn had to try and stop Matteo before he made it to the portal. Karth attempted to get in Matteo's way, but Matteo was too strong for the both of them, moving past Karth and keeping a hold on a struggling Quinn. That's when Karth pulled out a gun and told Matteo to stop, but he didn't listen, and Karth shot him in the leg. Quinn screamed in surprise, and Matteo stumbled for a moment but kept moving. Karth yelled for him to put Quinn down, while Quinn yelled for them both to stop. She continued to struggle against Matteo, but he was too strong. He continued to voice his apologies as he got closer to the portal. He just wanted his mom again. He didn't want this life without her anymore. He was so sorry. Quinn tried to talk Matteo down, tried to talk Karth down, but it was too late. And that was when one more shot rang out, and a bullet went into Matteo's back. He fell forward, and Quinn was dropped from his arms, falling right in front of the portal. But when she stood up, Quinn didn't move away from it. She gave Matteo a heartbroken look. So much harm was happening because he wanted this wish that badly. He wanted his mother. She didn't want any more harm to happen. So Quinn voluntarily stepped back into the portal and granted him his wish, as the portal and the Babadook disappeared in a wisp of smoke. Everything was left still, only Karth calling out Quinn's name as he ran forward, too late to stop her. His hands hung limply by his sides as he stared at the empty air. He didn't realize the lights came back on, and he didn't hear the sudden presence of footsteps as an older woman's voice came out. "Where am I?" Matteo, still conscious and bleeding on the floor, then became horrified as he recognized the voice of his mother, his heart ripping to shreds as he hears her gasp in terror and calling out, "Matteo? Matteo, is that you? What happened?" She runs to him, immediately falling to her knees, crying and trying to stop the bleeding. Matteo, my son, what happened to you? What happened? Please, someone help my son. Please!" Her cries echo out and are the only thing to be heard in that room as it all fades to black. And we end there. For now, anyways. We'll continue with the outcome of this event in the next one. I hope you all enjoyed, and Until next time, keep your heads above water. Bye.